talking about creating more projects, and if Canyon Lake is open to, for someone like Nick, I can bring investors with large money that can put into his project. I just need to know that you guys are available to
So let
open up your city.
me talk a little bit about Canyon Lake, because I haven't really done that. I'm trying to not be only about my city because it's a small city. I'm trying to be more regional, but let me talk a little bit about Canyon Lake. What's beautiful about our city is we have lakefront land. And so what we're doing right now is what's called a BLM swap. And how it works is if you have land with RCA that has a turtle on it, you got to go find that land somewhere else and swap it, and then we can now develop on that. Well, we've been working with Congressman King Calvert to make that happen, because we have, in our opinion, and this would be more for a builder to come in and look, and we've had several come through, we've given tours, and it's the prime location for a resort-style living situation where you can see waterfront location, beautiful lake, watch water skiing, wakeboarding, the whole 9 yards. Most people don't understand that Canyon Lake is a full-blown lake where you can take a boat and go 35 miles an hour, and you can ski and you can wakeboard, the whole 9 yards. And so we have the ability to build out beautiful waterfront, in my mind, mixed-use locations where we're taking that on, because we're a small city who's doing very well, by the way. Financially, we're doing extremely well. We're running a surplus. We just started our own fire department. Our community is in love with where they live. It's the only one of 2 gated cities in California, one of 5 or 10 in the United States. Very unique situation. But we're opening it up for building, and we're opening it up for this mixed-use concept to try to get people to invest in our future, because that's what we want. And it's a completely different ballpark. It's a 42 to 45 age group. We got kids everywhere now. Most of our residents commute out for work, and they love where they live because they can take a golf cart anywhere they want. But it is an incredible community for investors to come meet with me and my council and my city manager, and we'll give you a tour. We give tours on a boat that we have, and it's the coolest place. So I encourage anyone who's interested to reach out to our city and look at what we're trying to do.
Excellent. To her earlier question, your city is going to look at things that they want more than they would other projects.
Correct.
So it really depends on what you want to bring in.
Right.
So you said mixed use. Are you talking about maybe like a little hotel kind of thing on there?
Yeah, so for the mix,
shopping center next?
so this is perfect timing, this conversation, because 8 months ago, we just redid our entire
Charter.
Yes, not our charter. We just redid our entire housing element and our plan for our city. So we zoned different areas for what we like to call in municipality as mixed use. And the idea is that we build 3 or 4 stories up that is living, and then down below is commercial, your shops, your coffee shops, your Google centers where you can work. That's been approved. The other projects that we're looking at is that land that I spoke about earlier, and that's for the best imagination that wants to come forward. Builders have come to us and they said this would be the perfect place for a resort. This would be a perfect place for a hotel. This would be a perfect place for, a wedding venue. So these type of things have been brought to us, and this is the first time that we have a council, in my opinion, that is extremely active in pursuing that type of vision, because we have changed. We're no longer a retirement, what I call a chicken dinner community. We're hungry and we're going after In-N-Out, and we want to try to bring more and better things to our community that fits the needs of what we're looking for.
Excellent. Nice. Good. Any other questions?
I would like to just say something in line with Mayor. I know that we always look at the city being against us or trying to red tape it, but Marie, the process is not the city's fault sometimes. The process sometimes takes a long time. The traffic report takes a long time. The environmental impact report takes a long time. The survey. There's a lot of reports and studies that you have to do. The soil testing, the hydrology reports. All of that costs a lot of money, so you have to properly plan the development in whole from A to Z. So sometimes when you submit something to the city, if it's not correct and you didn't hire the right consultants to do it properly, it could be kicked back for a question or so, but you have to give them the opportunity to review it. So their review sometimes takes 30 days, 45 days, maybe a little bit longer, depending on their agenda and their time and how many projects they have. But that's the process that we've been going through. And sometimes the city tries to help you and fast track something, especially if there's a benefit for both, the developer, the city, the community, and everybody around us.
And we have one of the best consultants connected with this group, Mr. Lane.
Oh, yes.
That's what he does.
Okay.
And we can get a hold of him, give him your number, help you out there.
Thank you.
He can push it. Brandon Lane.
And this project is really first of hopefully a few. And the cities that the mayor's, discussing, we have already an interest to go there. So we would love this whole area because March Air Force Base and Gina was talking about the largest veteran population in her city. Yeah, so definitely, the programs would be very good for them. And we give free transportation back and forth to the VA, to their work, and to the March Air Force Base. So, we don't mind. We have a large electric company, vehicle company that will donate buses and vehicles.
Great, that's nice. Also, I had a question for you.
Yes.
Being that you guys are a gated city, does that have an effect on what the state is trying to do with the multiple development?
Yeah, it makes it even worse.
Really?
So for us, it's a very unique city, and I'll keep saying that because until you get there, you don't quite understand. But inside it's all gated. We have an outside area that has our mobile home, and then we have our community center, our town center, where all of our businesses, shopping center, that kind of stuff is at. And then inside kind of, but there's not actually a gate around it, is that BLM land, that property that I was talking to you about. So what the state has required us to do is affordable housing. Well, it's kind of hard to do that when you live in a city that our median house is now up to $690,000, $700,000. We have multiple $1-million waterfront properties. We have an HOA payment that knocks us completely out of the realm of that. So the state I encourage, and this at that time, Newsom, when we had our roundtable discussion, when he was calling on local leaders, I said, Mr. Newsom, please come and just visit. Have your staff visit. It's legitimately impossible to build affordable housing in a community with our demographics. So we had to zone an area. We called it the Village, and inside the gates, that is almost unbuildable. But we had to zone it to meet Sacramento requirements. And if a builder wants to take that project on to build affordable housing, that builder will have the issues that everyone's having with the cost of steel, plywood, everything else that's happening, where it's going to be not affordable. You can't make it work. So this is what's happening in real time in government right now, is we are filling out the paperwork to just say, yes, we did it, here you go, but it's never going to happen. And that's the education that we had to tell some of our residents. Look, we're not dumping Section A housing in the center of Canyon Lake. This is just a requirement from the state that's required. So it's an issue. And everyone's dealing with it, by the way. It's not just my city. It's everyone in Southwest Riverside County. Huntington Beach stood up strong against it because they legitimately couldn't do it either. So.